What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at Piranha, directed by Joe Dante. Now, Piranha came out in 1978 on the cusp of Jaws fever. It's also worth noting that Piranha came out the same year as Jaws 2, so it was kind of almost like direct competition with the movie that it was kind of ripping off. But I think Piranha is one of the better Jaws rip-off movies because at least this movie does have some skill to it, and it does have some decent acting to it. So let's waste no time. Let's get right into it. I overall think that Piranha, yes, it's kind of cheesy, but it's a B movie. It's a low budgeted Roger Corman produced B movie. So you're going to get what you're going to get. But like I said, at least this movie does have some skill to it and some technical savvy to it. So let me just get right into it. I overall think that the cast in this movie is relatively good. I like the lead actor named Bradford Dillman. He plays a character called Paul Grogan, and Paul Grogan is our Chief Brody type of character. Like he's the hero of the piece, so to speak. Now he's just an everyday man who lives out in the woods and hangs out in the cabin and gets drunk. So he's we'll just say he's a combination of Brody and Quint in that aspect. And I think that he does a good job in the role. He doesn't put on this outstanding performance, but for this type of movie, it's a strong enough performance where you actually care about his character. And I think he's fine in the role. You have this, and the other actors in this movie, they're all fine too. You get a cameo by Kevin McCarty, who is the scientist that helped create these genetically engineered piranhas, and the whole thing is that the government wanted to create these piranhas so that they could send them out into the waters of Vietnam and kind of destroy the Viet Cong, and take control of it. It's something really over the top and convoluted. This movie would have just been better off if it was really like Jaws. Killer piranhas have come to the lake. That's it. Instead, this movie has to be overly complicated with it, and it has to go the high tech route, and it just I think it's just stupid. I'm sorry, it's just stupid. The whole storyline behind the piranhas being what they are is kind of dumb, but it's a give and take. It fits what this movie's trying to do, I guess. Like, I don't know. But yeah, the cast in this movie is fine. You get a nice appearance by Dick Miller, who plays this guy called Buck Gardner. And Dick Miller, he's in everything. He was great in this movie. And yeah, and again, and the rest, the supporting cast is fine. All right, now let's get on to the nitty gritty. We don't care about the actors in this movie. We just care about the gory fun that this movie brings. And in that aspect, I appreciate this movie for what it does. Now, this is a low budget movie made for like a $1.25, and it's a B movie. So Joe Dante had to use a bunch of tricks to create the illusion of gore. And for the most part, I think he did a good job. I think for the most part, he did a good job at making the piranhas seem menacing, even though when you get close-ups of the piranhas, they look like toys. They legitimately look like toys. It's hilarious. But with editing and his directing, he made the piranhas come across as like legitimate threats, and just by using basic camera tricks, he made the movie feel like it has some stakes, that these characters are in peril. And I like how he handled a lot of the gore in this movie. Like, we see the piranhas attack, but we don't see them actually ripping through the flesh and things like that, because when they attack, the camera gets all shaky and the water starts to bubble up with some red dye to create the illusion that something really horrific is happening. But we do get to see the aftermath of what happens, and we see the people with ripped flesh and just looking all mangled up by the damage of the piranhas. And I think that's the movie's strengths, and I think that's one of the movie's strengths and one of the good spots that it took from Jaws, is that you don't see the creatures rip apart the flesh. You see the aftermath of what they can do, and I think that's just much more scarier when you're doing monster movies, because when you get to the end of the movie and the piranhas start to attack like a group of these kids at a camp and a bunch of people at a resort, that's where you can actually show more of the gore, and it means more because you had to pepper it all throughout the movie, so now you can fully exploit it at the end. And I give Joe Dante credit for doing something like that. I think that was good. I also think that this movie is tonally uneven, or maybe not uneven. I don't know. This movie tries to be scary and it tries to be funny all at the same time. Instances where it works and instances where it's just like, oh, really? Hmm. See, I'm all for comedy in a horror movie if you do it right. This movie, there are moments where the comedy can be really, really funny, and then there are moments where the comedy is like, oh, that's weird. You know, this horrific thing is happening to these people, and you literally have a character take off the pants of a knocked out policeman to take his keys. It's give and take, I guess. I don't know. I never really understood Joe Dante's sense of humor. It's a weird sense of humor that he has. And this movie is chock full of that humor. Like I said, it has humor that works and it has humor that doesn't work. And like I also said, this is a cheesy B movie, so you're pretty much gonna get what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get a 5-star classic, but you're gonna get an entertaining killer underwater animal monster movie, and that's what Piranha is. And actually, to tell you the truth, I really don't have much to say about Piranha. That's basically all I got to say. I think the movie is a 6.5 out of 10. It's nothing spectacular, but it is entertaining. It does have some good elements to it, but overall, that's pretty much all I got to say. 6.5 out of 10 for Piranha. If this review is lazy, it's because I really don't have much to say about a movie that I don't really have much of a connection with. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on Piranha. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.